In this video I want to talk a little bit more about what the concept of Quadtrinity, what it contains. In all times of philosophy there was always the challenge to find a system that is so as precise as possible, but also as concise as possible, so as complete and as simple as possible at the same time, that describes what our world is made up of. And there's the new ones that say string theory is like, is it not only 3 dimensions but 4 or 10 or 20, whatever, or Times theory, with X dimensions. But these new ones, they are really very limited, and they are only applicable to things that can be put into quantity and that can be measured with physical instruments. But in older times there were systems like alchemy that had 4 dimensions, means water, earth, fire, air, or in the Ayurveda it was 3 dimensions, Vata, Pitta, Kapha. In Chinese medicine and philosophy it was like 2 dimensions, the yin and the yang, and of course then the 5 dimensions, 5 elements, and so on. And here a monkey, you see a monkey? Ah, there's several ones. He's looking down, having a good time. Anyway, Einstein, he was making this much more simple. He said it's only 2 things, matter and energy. And actually it's more simple than this, it's all energy. And New Age is all about this. It's all making a simplification of the world that really is not very useful anymore. They say everything is energy, everything is frequency. And you can live with this kind of worldview in a New York apartment where you only see concrete and the latest ABC News or CNN News, or so. Well, your life is very much sterile. But in all those places like here where there's nature, where there's so many input from animals, you know this is cannot be correct. Anyway, so now it is really, we have to understand in how many dimensions we put our world is a question of choice. It's not a reality. It's a way of our mind to put a structure in everything that we experience. So the yin and the yang concept can work just as good as something that has 4 dimensions like the alchemy, or 12 dimensions like the astrology. And you can always understand that it can be refined and refined and refined, but that at the same time you want to have a system, a map that is as concise as possible. It's as simple as possible, but containing everything. So the best way, really, that I think, and that's the bottom and the basis of all real esoteric systems, is that our world is organized in a holographic way. That means in every concept you have all the other concepts integrated. You have the basic pattern, you see it again and again in every part. So this look at this. This is like a small tappy. See, it's kind of a pig. And so in every part you have all the other parts of your systems again contained within the same structure. So with a lot of thoughts and experimenting, I thought one of the most complete, or maybe the complete way of describing our world, not only physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, is contained of four parts. One is matter, then energy, then information, and then the soul part. But then the next question is, what is energy? What is information? And it sounds very simple and it sounds easy, but it has has many implications. Matter, the basic law of matter is matter has inertia. So every aspect in every part of our life that is inertia, I call, is a matter part. Then energy. Energy is the opposite of matter. It's not the same. It describes change. So whenever there is change, you have energy. Whenever you have resistance to change, it's matter. And then information. Everything here, you see, everything here is information. And it's much more information than, let's say, white and black stripes in a book, or even a text of a book. You can see this, a whole book can be put in a few megabytes, but one picture is already a few megabytes. So a picture is way more information. And of course, when you have a picture of this, you don't know much of this. You don't know the chemical composition, you don't know how they interact, you don't know their history, you don't know the DNA. So within this view, there's trillion times the information of one picture. And so on. So information is really about differences. About all the different nuances, about the polarities, about all the millions of polarities that life can offer. So information is polarity, it's difference or differences. And then the soul is again the opposite of information. It's all the forces, the principles that create unity. So it's about unity. The information is about difference. The soul is about unity. It's about oneness. So if you have those four patterns, everything that comes into your view, you can look at this leaf, for example. Now, is it matter? Yeah, of course it's matter in a sense. It resists here my touch. When I try to take it off, it resists. When I try to crumble and make it in pieces, it resists. That's the part we can touch, and that's the matter part of this leaf. But then, is it information? Is it energy? Means, is it change? Of course it's changing. It's all the time changing, it's growing, it's changing with the season, it's changing this with the day and night cycle and the temperature. So it also has a big energy part. For example, this part here, which is dry, it's dead, it's not so much any energy anymore, because it cannot change so much anymore. But is it changing anyway? Yes, you see, it's degenerating. It's a part of energy. It's an energy process. See, it has less matter part because it's less resistance. So energy and matter is of course connected. But then is this information? Yes, of course, it has structure. It has it has a purpose. It's different than this plant, for example. It has color, so that's a difference. It has a shape. So there's a lot of information in this as well. And then, does it have a soul? Does it have unity? Yes, it has unity with the plant life. It has unity with all the palms. It has a connection to the earth. So there is unity with the planet Earth. So you can see, I can look at anything and see what has more matter content, what has more energy content, what has more information content and soul content. And in everything, all those four parts are contained. So that's the structure of the Quadtrinity principle. So if something comes up for a client, it's not just energy or it's a matter problem, because as such this does not exist. Matter contains energy, information, soul. So what I say, everything that you see and that you describe is for only a description in the first approximation. So you can say this is matter in the first in the first place. But you can see also that life is probably in the first or second place energy as well. So your life becomes more dimensional. And the more you get used to this way of looking at life, you can see also in people's lives that their life might be mainly based on matter, means inertia, pattern, repetition, formula, or it can be based more on energy, or it can be based more on being different, making differences, information, or about creating unity, coming back to oneness, and so on. And every moment of our life is a new moment to manifest one of those four principles. And that what is seen as the most obvious, that what we can say is the first approximation of the situation or the person or the situation or the object, that's what I call the matrix. And then within the matrix, the second approximation, that what you see as the second most important thing, this is what I call the mode. And this is how our language is created. We have subjects, substantives, objects, and then we have as a second approximation, this is a palm tree, that's the matrix, the noun. But then it's a green palm tree, means this is the adjective, or it's a non-moving palm tree. That's the verb. So that's the mode. So if you see in the core system something coming up for a patient, look at the noun first, at the matrix. It gives you the first approximation. What's the issue right now for this person? And then look at the mode. That's the second most important aspect of the person right now. And you will see it starts to make sense. You see more than just the superficial.